One thing obvious to Lula was the social and economic chasm separating Brazil's rich and poor. He gave the poor families a monthly stipend of $115 just for sending their children to school and taking them to the doctors. The infusion of cash helped lift 21 million people out of poverty and into the lower middle class, creating an untapped market for first-time buyers of refrigerators and cars. But he was also far friendlier to business than anyone expected, encouraging growth and development and maintaining conservative fiscal policies and tight banking regulations that left Brazil unscathed by the world financial crisis.
Lula was the right man at the right time, it seems. You have to admit it. You know, he's a kind of pop star.
Eduardo Bueno is a colorful commentator and best-selling author of popular Brazilian history.
What's his secret?
He's streetwise, I guess you can say that. He knows people. He knows the feeling. He knows what they want. He knows how to deal with the rich. He charms President Obama.
And he charmed the international committees that awarded Brazil the 2016 Olympics and the World Cup of 2014. Political victories that announced the country's arrival as an international player and will present some challenges for Brazil's 36th president. She's Dilma Rousseff, Lula's former chief of staff and his hand-picked successor, who was elected in October 2010 because he was ineligible to run for a third term.
There are people that believe that once you were gone, Brazil may revert to its old ways. Will the momentum continue once you leave office at the end of the year?
If there is something I am proud of, it is to have told my people that we are not second-class citizens. That we can get things done. We can believe in ourselves. And then people have started to believe.
While many in Brazil's cities lust for first world status, the third world is never far away. For decades, Brazil ignored the festering slums known as favelas, which wrap around Rio, overlooking some of the most valuable real estate in the city. They have been staging areas for street crime against tourists and safe havens for drug gangs so well armed that they brought down a police helicopter a few years ago with heavy machine gun fire. Finally, after years of looking the other way, the military police have begun to move in. In fall 2010, some parts of Rio were a battle zone, with the drug traffickers burning buses near some of the sports venues. But so far, the police have pacified 17 of the most dangerous favelas, and there are still 23 more to go.
This is a revolution. I myself did not believe this 3 years ago. There is a solution for slums all over Brazil.
But there are also some massive problems with infrastructure. If the road to Brazil's future is long and wide, it is also jammed with traffic and filled with potholes. 90% of the roads in the country are still unpaved, and in the cities there's not much in the way of public transportation. Whatever happens in Brazil, no one will be able to blame it on a lack of money. That's because 150 miles off the coast lie what are believed to be the largest discoveries of oil found anywhere in the world in the past 35 years. Petrobras, the state-owned oil company, is preparing to drill 20,000 feet below the surface of the Atlantic to reach oil fields that sit underneath layers of salt beds.
This oil story is $1 trillion story right in front of us here.
What do the offshore oil discoveries do for Brazil? What do they mean for the country's future?
Oh, it means, we should be producing in excess of 6 million barrels a day. So it put us among the third, fourth largest producer in the world, massive exporter.
President Dilma joked that the oil discoveries were just the latest proof that God is Brazilian. An economist from Goldman Sachs, no less, had predicted that Brazil, along with Russia, China, and India, will dominate the world economy in the 21st century. If it happens, Brazil would be a different kind of superpower, one that would rather make love, not war. It has no nuclear arsenal, and aside from contributing a small number of troops to the Allied cause in 1944, Brazil hasn't fought a war since 1870.
Why fight? With all the pleasures, beach and sun, war? Forget it. Soccer? Let's watch a soccer game. Let's go to the beach. Let's drink a beer.